Welcome students. Today we'll discuss the chapter complex number from class 11. So let us discuss first the definition. So a number contain real part as well as imaginary part. It's called complex number. Or more clearly we can say a complex number can be expressed in the particular form, that is x plus iy, and it will be denoted by capital Z, where this portion x is called real part and with I here is y is called imaginary part. As y is called imaginary part, I will be considered as imaginary number. So before proceed with complex number, we have to understand the concept of imaginary number, and which is the reason so that it has introduced in mathematics. To understand clearly the concept of imaginary number, we'll revise some particular basic concepts regarding the numbers first. So in the number system, we can classify the numbers in some particular parts. First part is very easy, counting numbers, that will start from 1, that is natural numbers. Next part is whole numbers, that will start from 0 with natural numbers. Basically whole numbers is what? Is a set of natural numbers including 0. Next is integers containing whole numbers plus negative numbers. Containing whole numbers and negative numbers. Negative numbers means minus 1, minus 2, minus 3 and so on, as well as 0 also. So that's why integers containing whole numbers as well as negative numbers. Next part is rational. Rational is little bit different from integers. I don't want to mean that there is no similarity between integers and rational. I want to mean here rational number can be expressed in the particular form. The form is p by q, that is in the fraction. And one necessary and sufficient condition is here, that is q not equal to 0. We all know about the reason, because if q equal to 0, then the number will become infinite. That means the number will not exist or doesn't exist. After rational, we are having in the number system irrational number. Irrational means simply you can say those are not rational. Those are not rational. It's called irrational. It will be expressed under square root. Here I have written only square root. You can express it as a form of cube root, fourth root, fifth root, as well as which is not expressed in the form of p by q. And now most of the important thing is a real number. Real number is what? Contain rational number and irrational number. That means real number contain all these numbers. All this number means natural number can be expressed in the form of p by q, whole numbers also, integers also. That means rational number contain all the numbers. Since real number contain all rational and irrational, so in the sense we can say real number contains all the numbers including 5 types: natural, whole, integers, rational and irrational. That means in the number system all numbers are real number. But now one case arise, which number is not real? Which number is not real? Then what can he say about that? There is a lots of doubt. So Euler, one mathematician, he decided that time he decided which numbers are not be considered as a real number. We can say all those numbers as imaginary. But how can we understand the physical existence of imaginary number? For that we have to solve some mathematical equations. So another note is to understand the physical existence of imaginary numbers. we have to consider some equations. Here you have assumed some equation, you can assume another equations also. That is x plus 2 equal to 0 simply is an equation. Equation means it should have solution. So x plus 2 equal to 0 means x equal to minus 2. You used to with this number because it's a real number as well as integers. Whatever we had discussed before about the number system, minus 2 will be there. That means here is no doubt. Similarly, x minus 3 equals to 0, it implies x equal to 3. It is also real. Here is no doubt also. X square minus 1 equal to 0, that is x equal to plus minus 1, because here we can apply the factorization method, a square minus b square, or the square root rule, you can get easily the solution. That is, it is also real. Here is no doubt. Again, x square minus 2 equal to 0, that is x equal to plus minus root 2. This is also real. But whenever you have got an equation like this, x square plus 1 equal to 0, simply we can write what after that, x square equal to minus 1. As you have done before, the same step we will do further, that is x equal to plus minus root over minus 1. But in the number system, we cannot see this type of particular number. We used to see that root over 1, root over 2 like this, but under square root, negative number, that cannot clarify by the real numbers, that cannot be explained by the real numbers. So we have to find out another option. Whenever we have got the particular number negative under square root, like this, root over minus 1, this particular number is called imaginary number. This particular number is called imaginary number. At this particular situation, we cannot say this is real, because real number, it's not look like that. In the real number, there is no existence of under square root negative numbers. So that's why in case where you have got this type of numbers which cannot be expressed in the form of real, there is only one way that we can say which is not real, so it will be imaginary. Similar way, x square plus 4 equal to 0, so x square equal to root over minus 4. And imaginary specially will denote by I, small I, or you can say it's a Greek letter, so we will use it as iota, either I, or we can use the word iota. So this is the particular I is called imaginary number in the number system. So more than real numbers, beyond real numbers, there exists a number that is called imaginary number. So the complex number is nothing but a number which is a combination of real part and imaginary part. So by using these above examples, we can easily clarify that which are real and which are imaginary. So now I would like to solve it in the form of I. How can you solve? This is plus minus, and here you have got root over minus 4, that can be expressed also 4 into minus 1. Now root over 4 into minus 1, that can be expressed root 4 into root over minus 1. Root 4 means 2 and I means root over minus 1. So that's why here you have got imaginary solution. Imaginary means which is not real, or in graphical sense or in the axis sense, we can say the solution of the imaginary equations does not lie on x axis, it will lie always on y axis. Okay, so this is the concept of imaginary number, how we have introduced in maths. That's the main reason. So now after that we'll have one particular note which is very important, that is note is every real number is complex number. How will you say that? Let us consider a real number 2. In the definition of complex number, we have already told that whenever a number can be expressed in the form of x plus iy, that will be considered as a complex number. So 2, here I have written 2 as 2 plus I dot 0. There is no problem because nothing is here, that means that can be replaced by 0, and it is also maintaining the form of complex number. So 2 is real as well as complex because it will have real part as well as imaginary part. Now, but the converse of the statement is not true. What does it mean? Converse of the statement means 2 plus 3i, it's a complex number, but it's not real because in real number there is no existence of imaginary number. But in case of 2 plus 3i, we cannot eliminate this portion, that is 3i portion. So that is not real due to its imaginary part. So that's why it is complex. So every real number is a complex number, but the converse is not true. Now we'd like to start further detail regarding I. Integral powers of I. Integral powers of I means, what does it mean integral powers? In powers of I, what we are having, the particular index. Here is 2 you can see, here is 3 you can see, here is 4 you can see, that are integral powers. If I equal to root over minus 1, you know already, you have already seen that one. This is the value of I particularly. Then taking both sides square, we can get I square equal to minus 1. Here 2 is called integral powers. So by using this concept, we can get several values or various values of I with different powers. So I square equal to minus 1. If you multiply both sides by I, what will you get? I square into I equal to, in this side also, minus 1 into I, so minus I. So the value of I cube will be minus 1. Similarly, I cube into I, if you multiply it, then you can get minus I square. As we know, the value of I square is minus 1, so minus minus plus, so the value of I to the power 4 will be 1. By using this concept, we would like to solve some problems. Here I have taken two problems, that is I to the power 4 plus I to the power 8 plus I to the power 10 plus I to the power 40. I to the power 4, actually our motto is express I to the power 4 in the powers of some standard value. As we know, the I square value is minus 1 always. So that's why I have expressed I to the power 4 in the powers of I square. So I square whole square. I to the power 8 means I to the power 4 whole square. I to the power 10 means, here I have written I to the power 8 into I square, just different way. You can write I square power 5 also. Result will remain same. Here I have written I to the power 40 in terms of I to the power 4, that is I to the power 4 power 10. So I to the power 4 means 1, we have already seen here. Again I to the power 8 means also 1 because it will be multiple of 4. I to the power 8 can be expressed I to the power 4 whole square. So 1 square, this is 1. I square is minus 1. I to the power 4 is 1. 1 to the power 10. So now putting individual value, plus 1 minus 1 will be cancelled. We have left 1 plus 1, that is 2. This is our required answer. Similarly here I plus 1 plus I plus 2I power 30. I plus 1 plus I, whenever you have got only I, there is no change. And please keep in your mind, in this type of question, don't need to put the value of I. If you get I square, then it's okay. But if you get only I, then don't need to put the value of I. If it is possible to reduce I to I square, then we can do that, to put the value. If there is no option, then we cannot do anything else. So here is no option, that's why I have remains left I as you had got. Now 1 by I means I by I square. You have multiplied numerator and denominator by I, that is I by I square. I to the power 30 means I to the power 28 into I square. So I minus I, because I square equal to minus 1. So I by minus 1 means minus I. I minus I, plus you have applied the same thing here, I to the power 28 in terms of I to the power 4, I square value minus 1. So after multiplication we have got the final answer, that is 2, because here plus I and minus I will be cancelled. Next, our next part is to evaluate the large powers of I. How can you evaluate the large powers of I? Express the individual expression in terms of 4. But what is the reason why I have told? Because we know if we express I with the powers of 4, the value will be always 1. So it's an advantage for us. This is an advantage, so that's why you would like to express I in terms of 4 always if possible. So here I have taken just large power of I, that is I to the power 52 plus I to the power 48. We'll follow always this formula. What is the formula? I to the power 4k plus r equal to I to the power r. But why? Just I would like to say that one again. I to the power 4k plus r. That means it can be expressed I to the power 4k into I to the power r. But I to the power 4k means what actually? I to the power 4 power k into I to the power r. I to the power 4 means what actually? 1 power k, something in terms of 1 or powers of 1, that will be always 1. So 1 into I to the power r. So again I to the power r come back. So it will come back once again. So that's why I to the power 4k plus r equal to I to the power r. This is very easy rule, and if you apply the rule over here, then it will be easy to calculate the large values. So here I have written same thing. I to the power 52 I have expressed is I to the power 4 into 12 plus 4. I to the power 48 I to the power 4 into 12 plus 0. If you are having problem to express it directly, you can do one thing, you can divide it by 4. You can get easily the remainder. For example here 4 and quotient 12. Then you can form that formula A equal to BQ plus R. In that way I have written. You can, otherwise you can do directly. So I to the power 4k plus r, remainder will be the final integral powers of I according to the rule. So that's why I to the power 4 into 12 plus 4, that is I to the power 4 left. Similarly I to the power 0 left. So I to the power 4 means 1 and something to the power 0 always 1. So that's why 1 plus 1 2. Again I to the power 200 I have written in terms of 4. Here also I have written in terms of 4. I to the power 0 plus I to the power 5. As we know again 5 means 4 into 1 plus 1. So we have to take only the remainder, because I to the power 4 1 according to this rule. So I to the power 1, that means I. So 1 plus I will be our final answer. According to the same manner, we can solve some question, and we will solve some different type of question in our next class. So get ready for the next class. Thank you.